It's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday and you're staring at a screen. Not because you can't sleep. You're wide awake. You're scrolling through thumbnails, each one a brighter, louder promise than the last. $10,000 per month with this AI, $500 a day doing nothing, the secret they don't want you to know. You've clicked on a dozen of them. You've watched gurus and rented Lamborghinis talk for 10 minutes without saying a single thing. And you're just lying there in the quiet glow of your phone, feeling that familiar, sinking feeling. It's not inspiration. It's a strange mix of anxiety and exhaustion. You feel like you're on the outside of a party that everyone else was invited to. You know the answer. You've known the answer for a while now. But you keep scrolling anyway because the alternative is accepting that this isn't the way. My name is Zach, and for a while now this channel has been a part of that problem. Today that stops. Let's talk about the numbers. Because the math behind the make money online world is more brutal than anyone admits. There are roughly 2.5 million videos uploaded to YouTube every single day. A significant chunk of those, especially in the finance space, are screaming for your attention with promises of easy wealth. But a 2021 study from the Technical University of Denmark analyzed data from online course platforms and found that the completion rate for these life-changing courses is less than 13%. Another analysis of popular trading discords showed over 90% of participants lose money over time. Think about that. The business model isn't to make you successful. The business model is to sell you the dream of success. Is to keep you scrolling at 2 a.m., feeling just desperate enough to click on one more video. It's an economy built on your anxiety. The threshold for what's considered a viral video keeps getting higher, while the quality of the information keeps getting lower. So, most people searching for real answers are walking around in a digital fog, being financially and emotionally strangled in slow motion. And for the last 49 videos I've been contributing to that fog. Congratulations. You have been a viewer of a channel that was, without me fully realizing it, part of the problem. Here's what that actually looked like. Meet the old version of me. Let's call him the Guru Chaser. The Guru Chaser did everything he was supposed to do according to the rulebook I was reading. I saw titles with big numbers and I made my own. I saw thumbnails with shocked faces and I made mine too. I talked about passive income and side hustles in the most generic terms possible, because that's what the algorithm seemed to want. My analytics dashboard was my report card. Every decision, every script, every thumbnail was filtered through one silent question. Will this go viral? That question was running in the background of my life like a tab I could never close. I wasn't asking, will this actually help someone? I wasn't asking, is this information true and tested? I was asking, is this title flashy enough? I had a 4.5% click-through rate, which sounds good. It means the packaging was working. But my average view duration was a soul-crushing 1 minute and 17 seconds. People were clicking, realizing it was the same empty calories they'd tasted 100 times before, and leaving. The Guru Chaser wasn't a guide, he was a billboard advertiser. And the product was hollow. The turning point wasn't a single event. It was a slow dawning horror. It was looking at a list of 49 videos, hundreds of hours of work, and realizing I couldn't point to a single one and say, with complete confidence, this piece of content fundamentally changed someone's financial life for the better. It was looking at my analytics and seeing that 95% of my viewers were new. People came, they saw, and they never came back. There was no trust. There was no community. I was staring at my screen one night, not as a creator but as a viewer. I was looking for an answer to a real, personal finance question I had. And I found myself drowning in the same sea of clickbait I was contributing to. I felt that same 2 a.m. feeling, that exhaustion, that frustration. And in that moment, the hypocrisy of it all hit me like a physical blow. I was making the noise that was preventing people like me from finding the signal. The tab in the back of my mind didn't just need to be closed. It needed to be deleted. Now, before I keep going, I need to address the argument that a certain part of my brain was making for months. And that argument goes, but this is how the game is played. If you don't use flashy titles and talk about viral topics, you'll never get seen. And look, that argument is not wrong on a surface level. The YouTube algorithm is a complex beast, and it does reward things that get clicks. It's a system that incentivizes spectacle. When you're starting out with 0 subscribers, the temptation to just copy what works for the big guys is immense. Feels like survival. You convince yourself that you'll do the clickbait thing first to build an audience, and then you'll give them the real value. The problem is, then never comes. You build an audience that expects spectacle, not substance. You've built a house on a foundation of sand. The spreadsheet says the clickbait model works. It assumes you can just switch to real content later. Here's what the spreadsheet doesn't know: it's a trap. It traps your creativity, it traps your integrity, and it traps your audience in a cycle of disappointment. Let me go back to the psychology because there's something here that the YouTube guru world breezes past. A 2018 study in Nature Human Behavior found that our brains get a dopamine hit not just from receiving a reward, but from the anticipation of a reward. A clickbait title is a promise of a reward. $500 a day is a massive hit of anticipatory dopamine. Is why you click. But when the video fails to deliver, when the information is vague, generic, or requires an expensive course to unlock, your brain experiences a crash. It's a neurochemical bait and switch. Do this enough times to a viewer and you don't just lose their attention. You create a state of learned cynicism and distrust. And as a creator, you're on the other side of that, chasing the high of upload day, the brief spike in views, without ever getting the deep, loud